So many people start a fitness plan and diet to lose body fat, but if it's long-term fat you're after, a diet's not the way to go. You need to make your nutrition a lifestyle. And because diets often involve depriving you of all the foods you love and need, they are not sustainable. They slow metabolism and leave you in a worse off situation than before you even started. So let me introduce a concept that does work, and it's called intermittent fasting.
How long has it been since you last ate? People who fast intermittently often eat within an 8-hour block, leaving 16 hours of fasting in between. During that 16-hour stretch, their bodies undergo an important change that sets them apart from non-fasters. Here's how it works. When you eat, you store some of that energy in the liver as glycogen. But after 10 to 12 hours of not eating, your glycogen reserves will be extremely low. As a result, you may feel more irritable than normal, a term scientists call hangry. The upside is, with little glycogen left, fat cells in your body release fats into your bloodstream. The fat cells head straight to your liver, where they're converted to energy for your body and brain. So you are literally burning fat to survive. Blood samples show that people who had fasted for 12 to 24 hours experienced a 60% increase in energy from fat, with the biggest change occurring after 18 hours. This is the benefit to intermittent fasting because it puts you in a state called ketosis. And it's why researchers think intermittent fasting could be the key to a longer, healthier life. The process of burning fat releases chemicals called ketones. In the brain, ketones trigger the release of an important molecule called BDNF. BDNF helps build and strengthen neurons and neural connections in areas of the brain responsible for learning and memory, which could explain why a boost in ketone production has been shown to improve memory in people with early signs of dementia in as soon as 6 weeks. Increasing ketones in the body is also a common treatment for patients with severe epilepsy. You don't necessarily have to fast to boost your ketone levels. Introducing more fatty foods into your diet and cutting back on carbs can have a similar effect. A group of people who tried this method for 3 months not only lost weight and body fat, but also saw a decrease in blood pressure and a hormone that is related to aging and disease. But scientists have discovered that fasting increases ketone levels more. Ketogenic diets can increase ketones 4-fold, whereas fasting has been shown to increase ketones by up to 20-fold. As a result, fasting compared to a ketogenic diet may have a stronger, more beneficial effect on overall health. Yet many Americans who eat 3 meals a day with snacks in between never reach ketosis, and therefore aren't producing enough ketones to promote good health. Fasting and ketosis have been a key to our survival from the beginning. They helped our ancient ancestors survive through bouts of starvation, and today, they're becoming recognized as a way to help keep future generations mentally and physically disease-free.
So it's simple. It's just taking a break from food. That's it. Basically, you eat all your food for the day within an 8-hour window, meaning if you start eating at 10 a.m., your last meal would be by 6 p.m., right? Those are 8 hours of the day you're eating food. Or if, let's say, you start eating at 11 a.m., your last meal would be by 7 p.m., right? And so on. You can see the point, right? 8 hours of your day. The easiest way I find is just to skip breakfast because I tend to be the busiest in the mornings anyhow, so it's just simple. The great thing is, though, you can move those 8 hours anywhere in the day that works best for you, and of course, your own schedule. So if at first it seems daunting, I would suggest starting off with just a 12-hour eating window, where you stop eating, for example, at 8 p.m. one night, and then the next day you can start eating again at 8 a.m. And then what you do is gradually shorten your eating window, 30 minutes every 1 to 3 days, until you've reached an 8-hour eating window. Now, I get the question a lot, what about, eating every 2 to 3 hours? That's supposed to boost my metabolism. Well, in theory, yeah, it does sound rational, but the research definitely does not support this. It's old, recycled, bodybuilding bro science. Studies have shown time and time again that what's most important is your total macronutrient intake for the day. So those are your proteins, your carbohydrates, and your fats. It's not the frequency at which you eat them. So whether it's 1 to 2 large meals or 6 small ones, doesn't matter. But intermittent fasting comes with some very important additional benefits as well. For one, you can eat as many meals as you need within those 8 hours. For example, 1 big meal, 2 meals, 3 snacks. The combination is endless, and it frees you up to decide when and how much you'd like to eat within those 8 hours.
So when we eat food, the hormone insulin starts to rise. And insulin is a storage hormone. It stores some of this energy in our livers and in our fat cells. So sugar gets stored in the liver as glycogen, and fat gets stored as well. When we stop eating, the insulin levels start to fall. And what happens is that we start to bring this energy back out. So that when we're fasting, usually during sleeping, for instance, we don't have to constantly eat to feed ourselves because we're generating this energy from the fuel that we've stored away. And this is a normal situation. So you eat, energy gets stored. As you don't eat, the energy comes back out. Now, there are 2 main fuel sources for the body. The body can burn sugar, and the body can burn fat. And you have to understand that the body can switch from one to the other without any problems. This is a normal situation. Sugar is like the money in your wallet. It's easily available, but you can only store a certain limited amount. So you can take it in, you can take it out. It's very easy for the tissues to use. Fat, on the other hand, is like the money in your bank. There's an unlimited amount of storage, but it's not so easy to get to. You have to go to the teller. It's not immediately available to you like the money in your wallet. And this really explains partially why it's so hard to burn fat, because it's not that accessible to you. In fact, you can only get at it after you've burned through all the sugar, because your body is not going to bother of getting the energy from the fat when it has plenty of sugar. Let's look at what happens to the body when you start fasting. If you look at this graph, what it shows you is where the body is getting its energy from. That's the oxidation rate on the left-hand side. So immediately when you stop eating, what you see is that the body is deriving most of its energy from carbohydrates. That's sugar. And the immediate part after fasting, you can see that most of the energy is still derived from sugar. But after about 24 hours or so, those stores start to run out. The glycogen, which is the stored sugar, is starting to run out. And as you stop getting energy from your sugar, then you can see the green line, which is the fat burning, starts to ramp up. What you see in essence is a switch here from burning sugar to burning fat. At no time do you see the protein really become a major problem. We're not burning protein for fuel. Protein is what we want our muscles, our tissues to be made out of. It's important. And you see that the body conserves the protein through the entire process. We're not burning muscle, we're burning fat. So what we're really talking about is how to switch over from burning sugar to burning fat. How do you do this? Well, a low carbohydrate, high fat diet is going to prevent the sugar from being stored in the first place. So if there's no sugar being stored, your body is naturally going to be able to go to the fat.
Another huge benefit for intermittent fasting is the convenience. You'll find it much less work planning for 1 to 2 meals a day than planning for 3 to 6 meals spread out all throughout the day. And not all of us, of course, are breakfast eaters either, so no need to waste time there. And third, it starts to improve things at your cellular level. So when you give your body a break from having to digest food all throughout the day, some wonderful things start to happen, like appetite control. You also get an increase in your mental focus. Your energy levels will start to stabilize because you're not eating food, which zaps a lot of your energy. Your blood sugar will get controlled. It also improves your insulin sensitivity. It enhances your cellular turnover and your repair, which is also called autophagy, meaning when your body's not digesting food, it is digesting dead cells, like metabolic waste from your workouts and free radical damage, which is why it's also integral to anti-aging. You'll notice less dark circles and wrinkles on your skin. It also releases human growth hormone, which builds muscle and burns fat, and you get that additional increase in fatty acid oxidation, which is fat burning. And again, all you have to do is skip breakfast, or just shorten your daily eating window to about 8 to 12 hours. And think way back to our human history, our human evolution. We had times of abundance and times of famine or fasting all throughout our existence. So for millions of years, when there was nothing to eat, we fasted. And what we do is we eat our own fat as fuel. So this is natural. This is normal. This is the way that we were actually designed. And it's not just us, it's for every wild animal on the planet. We're designed this way. We weren't designed to waste away our muscle by keeping all of our fat stores, unless, of course, we're starving ourselves, like on deprivation diets. Then the body thinks we're in this huge famine and holds on to all of its fat stores. So be sure to eat all the calories your body needs, and just try skipping breakfast the next time. Your body will actually run on fat.